Welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am streaming to you live from beautiful Central Europe, Budapest, capital city of Hungary. Welcome, you're Salim Tewelde, a new member to our YouTube channel. Awesome. Make sure to send me an email so I can hook you up with our perks. Hi, Love Preet. Hi, Satisfying Times, IELTS with fun. Kira Hung, good to see you in class. Many students joining in. Awesome. Today, IELTS listening for Band 9 materials come from our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS help and GIELTS help.com for general IELTS help. We will be using those websites today for the listening audio. Students, we do have a new speaking interview video in HD on our YouTube channel with a candidate from India to give you an example Band 8 interview session. We have over 100 hours of video lessons on our websites and 6 original practice exams, as well as a fully interactive course with strategies. You can check that out. You can send me an email if you have questions, adrian@aehelp.com. Hi, Chung Min Yun. Good to see you as well in class. Suk, I'm glad you've checked it out. You can get our books from Amazon, AE Helps Academic IELTS or GE Helps General. And this week, today, listening, tomorrow, reading, followed by the second half of this listening. So we will focus on listening section 1 and 2 today, and tomorrow we will do section 3 and 4. And then on Saturday, members' questions and answers and speaking part 2 for everyone. Students, let's kick it off right away with some listening. So this is our academic web portal for academic IELTS. You can log in at the top. I'm already logged in, so I'm just going to hop into my student account. Students, we're going to be doing listening section 1 here. So on your phone or in a document or on a piece of paper, write down your answers. Please do not write them in the chat. Okay, don't confuse other students. Let everybody come up with their own answers. Then we'll go through it together anyway. Okay. All right. So just end the tour. Let's jump into the audio CDs. This is test 4 coming from our second book for the academic. We're actually working on book number 3 right now. So it's CD4, track 1. So in the audio, we will go to CD4, track 1. I'm using my headset microphone for this, and I am at max volume. So if you're having difficulty with the volume, make sure to turn it up on your end. And use a headset if you have one. All right, students, so we're going to play the audio. We're going to play the listening again. Write the answers in a separate sheet, not in the chat. Okay, give everybody a chance to answer. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
This recording is copyrighted by 2 Think One Solutions Inc. and World ESL Tutors. You will hear several different recordings, and you will answer questions on what you hear. There will be time given to read the instructions and questions, and you will be given a chance to check your work. The recordings will be played only once. The test is made up of 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Listening section 1. You will hear a conversation between a student and a university administrator. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. you will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Oh, hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office?
Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's assistant registrar. What can I help you with today?
Great. Thank you for seeing me today, Ms. Reed. I have a few concerns about my registration for the upcoming semester.
The student says she has concerns about registration, so B has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Oh, hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office?
Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's assistant registrar. What can I help you with today?
Great. Thank you for seeing me today, Ms. Reed. I have a few concerns about my registration for the upcoming semester.
Certainly. What can I help you with? Sorry, what was your name again, Ms.?
Anderson, Melanie Anderson. And well, my first question concerns my student record. I'm beginning my second year of uni, but my first didn't go so well.
You're worried about your marks then, Ms. Anderson, and how they impact your registration status?
Exactly. I don't know my precise average, but it is not good. Could you look into this for me?
Absolutely. Could you please spell your last name for me? I've seen it spelt with either an E or an O in the final syllable.
It's an E. Andersen. My family ancestry is Swedish.
Right then. And the next piece of information I need is your student registration number.
Okay, it seems I've left my student identification with my registration number on it in the car. Can I give you some other piece of information or identification?
Yes, you can. Along with your surname, I can find your account with your date of birth.
Great. It's the 20th of August, 1997.
The 20th of August, 1997?
Yes, that's right.
All right. Let's see your account then. Okay, here it is. Well, I see what you mean about your marks. These are certainly not ideal. However, your average is above the level necessary to proceed to year 2 of your programme. However, I do see there's a hold on your account which is preventing you from registering for classes.
Yes. See, I thought that was because of my marks.
No, it's not. It's actually because you have unpaid library fines.
Library fines?
Yes. During the past year, you must have been tardy in returning some items to the university library.
Yes, I think I was. Hardly seems like a good reason to prevent a student from registering, though.
I know how you feel, but books are expensive for the university library to acquire, and we must coerce students to pay fines one way or another.
How much do I owe?
£6.20.
£6.20? Well, I suppose it's a relief the total is so small.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
Well, now that that is out of the way, I did have another concern. I need advice on what modules to take in my first semester. I'm in the BA Art History program, but as you can see from my record, I failed a class which is a prerequisite for 2 modules I'm supposed to take this semester.
Yes, it looks like that's right. It was Art History 1270 that you failed. Is that right?
1270. Yes, I took it with Professor Calder. I found his teaching style did not match my learning style.
Right. Well, that art history class is indeed a prerequisite for both Art History 2170 and 2260.
Yes, unfortunately, that's what I found out earlier. Is there anything that can be done?
Well, Miss Anderson, I think there is. Here's what we'll do. We'll register you in the module you failed last year, and then we'll put you in Art History 2240, which counts towards your degree in place of 2260. 2240 has no prerequisite, however.
But what about the 2170 class?
Yes, well, that's where we'll have to be creative. Are you comfortable taking an extra class in the spring semester?
Yes, I think so.
Good. We will register you in 1270 and 2240 in the fall, and then register you in 2170 in the spring.
Great. And one final question. Is Professor Calder teaching art history 1270 again this autumn?
Yes, he is, but I've put you in Professor Hennessy's section instead. I think you'll be more successful.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, students, and always use that half minute to check your answers, because you can catch some silly little mistakes in many cases, like spelling or missing a part of the instructions, for instance. Let's go through this together. So let's answer these questions together, see how you did. Section 1, you need to be very good. You have to get a very good score because each section gets more and more difficult. Here we go. You're given the example. Now, in the example time, in the paper-based test, if you can, check the topic for section 3 and 4. If not, if it's a very strict proctor, then don't worry about it. Here we go. Number 1, in which year of the university is the student enrolled? So for number 1, what's the correct answer? What year is this student enrolled in? That means they're already registered, right? So another way to say the word enrolled is registered. So in which year is this student registered? First, second, or third? According to Hung, Satisfying Times, Dinesh, Haiti, Charlie, Babine, Azraar, and Carolina, the answer is B, and you are all right answering B. B is the right answer, definitely. B is good, okay? She's enrolled in her second year. Okay, what is the student concerned about most? What is she worried about? Okay, another way to say the word concerned is worried. All right. So what is this student worried about? Her marks, her registration status, or her identification? Now, careful here. What is she concerned about most? Okay, we have a little bit of a split decision here. Some of you think it's her marks. Others think it's her registration status. Those of you who think it is her registration status are absolutely correct. Good for you. Thumbs up. I'll show you why in a little bit. So we'll take a closer look at that. But she is most concerned about her registration status, not about her marks. Use your logic, students, in the IELTS. If you are going to university, if you have bad marks, that's a problem. But an even bigger problem is if you cannot register for your classes, right? So the correct answer is B, her registration status. She's most worried about that. And now we'll take a look at the transcripts in a moment so you can see why that's the correct answer. Okay, be very careful with words like most in the listening section questions. Okay, she is worried about her marks, but she's most worried about her registration status. Okay, question 3 to 5 was fill in the blanks. It's completing the notes. Okay, so here we write no more than 3 words and or a number for each answer. What is her name? And they spell it, and they've said it a few times, and she even says it's spelled with an E. Okay? Hung says it's Anderson, spelt with an E. Yeah, instead of the usual O. So it's Anderson spelt with an E. Anderson is often spelt like this. Okay, Anderson is often spelt with an O, but she says it's Anderson spelt with an E. And then she spells it. She says Andersen. So be very, very careful with the dictation. You have to listen to that. Okay. What is her birthday? Oh, and yes, thank you. A couple students reminding me there that this has to be a big A. Okay, you can write it like that, or you could write it like this as well. Okay, both of these are correct. If you write a small a, that would be wrong. Okay, so many of you are saying it's 20th of August. Yeah. AUG 20. That's the easiest answer. Okay, AUG, you can put a period there, 20. You do not need the superscript TH in the IELTS, so you don't need that superscript. It's not necessary. Okay. If you do write a superscript and you write RD, like 20erd, they'll mark that wrong. Okay, so careful. If you misspell August, they'll mark it wrong. Okay. Hattie, you can write all capitals. Remember, months are also proper nouns. So if you write this is wrong. Okay. Why? Because the A cannot be small. Okay. Hattie, it doesn't have to be bold. It can be capital. Lean, absolutely you can write abbreviations for months. So Lean Alhamd is asking, can we write abbreviations for months? Lean, definitely you can, and I suggest that you do, because with some months, students make spelling mistakes like there's February, and sometimes I see students doing this. And they miss that second R. That's wrong, okay? So it's easier to just write Feb, okay? A correct abbreviation is correct, all right? So that's fine. Library fines, number 5, Danish, Myron München is saying 620. Yep, you can write £6.20, but you don't need the pounds. If you write pounds, it could be wrong. So who wrote pounds? Somebody wrote pounds. It's just 620. 6.20. You have the font pound there. So if you see that in the answer, you don't need to include it in your answer sheet. Only if you don't see it. Okay? Only write this symbol if you don't see it here. If you see it here or a $sign, don't double write that. It could get marked wrong. Okay? So here, all you need is a 620, like that. Right? That's all you need. Keep it simple. Pay close attention to what is included in the question answer. Okay? So pay really careful attention to that. All right. Let's have a look at the second half of listening section 1. What program is the student enrolled in? So here again, pay attention, no more than 3 words. What's her program? You don't need to write the word program that's given. History program, Kaur, is wrong. Okay? It's BA Art History. It is the name of a program in university, so it's a good idea to capitalize the A and the H. Otherwise, you could get it marked wrong. BA is okay. It's the bachelor program. It's not absolutely necessary for this, although it's not a bad idea. Art history is very important. It's the art history program. That's the name of the program. So Bachelor of Arts in Art History. All right. Let's take a look at questions 7 to 9. So here you have to match the class number with the correct description. So in this case, on your question sheet or your answer sheet, you would have question 7, 8, 9. and then you have to put the correct letters clearly in there. So 2170. What's going on with class 2170 for 7? All right, so Kawaljit, Kaur, Haiti, Rahul, Danish, satisfying times, all say that that's B. Heba agrees. Planning to take that one in spring for this one, so B. Yeah, they say that a couple times, right? So the registrar even says that's where we will have to get creative. You'll need to take that one in the spring, right? Okay, number 8, 1270. Number 8, Amarjeet says number 8 is C. It's not true, Amarjeet. The best donut of 2010 says that number 8 is A, and many others agree, and I agree with you. It is A. That's the one she's failed. Okay, so she says that one didn't go so well. So if you got these two correct, the last one should be easy because by process of deduction, we know that this one is going to be C. So it's B, A, C. Those are the correct answers. Students, again, logic. What year is she in? Students, what year is she enrolled in? This was the first question. This is why it's important to get these questions correct. Many of you knew that she's in the second year. Now, you should know that university classes, in most universities, first-year classes, should I show you this? First-year classes are 1000s or 100s. Okay? Second-year classes are 200s or 2000s. Okay? So when you look at your registration forms for university, you will see that first-year classes are numbered either as 120, 101, or 1001. Second-year classes are labeled as 200, 200s. If you didn't know that, fine, now you know. Guess what third-year classes, what the numbers are for third-year classes in university in Australia, United States, Canada, New Zealand. Guess what numbers they use for third-year classes? Anybody? $1 million question? What numbers do they use? Yeah, Rahul says 300s and 3000s. Numbers starting with 3. That's right. So starting with 3. 300s or 3000s. Of course, fourth is 400s. And master's classes, so that's how you know you're in a master's class, not a bachelor's class. They do start with 5s, so 500 or 5000s. And that's about as high as they go. Okay, for doctorate classes, I believe it's still just 500s. I've never seen a 600 class. Okay, so that's how they go. If you know that, this question is easier. Okay, so this question is easier because you know that if she's in second year, she probably failed her first year class, which starts with a 1. Okay, and then you have one of these figured out for sure. Okay, so remember that for the future. First year starts with 1. Second year starts with 2. Third year. If you have by the way, if you have prerequisite classes, so let's say that your high school math grade wasn't good enough, then you can take what's called substitution classes or prerequisite classes in university. Those start with 0, like 060 math, which is maybe equal to math grade 12. Okay, so you'll see a 0 start. That means that it's before first year. It's a prerequisite class. So just some interesting information there for you to know for those of you who are getting ready for university in another Western country or Australia. Okay. All right. So last question for section 1, number 10. The student is registered for 1270 with the same professor as she previously had. True or false? True or false? The correct answer is B. It's false. Okay, it's absolutely not true. The registrar says, yes, that's professor's teaching again, but I put you in a different class with another professor. Students, if you are having difficulty with some of these questions, remember that you have transcripts in the back of the book and you can check the information, see what is going on. Okay? Don't just skip over your mistakes and think, whatever, I got that one wrong, I'll get it right next time. No, have a look, see what's going on. So in our book, this is page 110, and it's the script, it's the transcript for this listening section 1, okay? You see it right here. Melanie says, oh, hi there. Is this the University Registrar's office? Yes, it is. I'm Deborah Reed, the university's assistant registrar. What can I help you with today? So there goes that script. And let's say that you didn't get question 2. I know many students thought, oh, what? She's worried about her registration. All right. So here, have a look. Anderson, Melanie Anderson, and well, my first question concerns my record. I'm beginning my second year of uni. So it means she's registered, she's enrolled in her second year of uni. But my first didn't go so well. Okay, so clearly she's concerned. Deborah says, you are worried about your marks then, Mrs. Anderson, and how they impact your registration status. So worried about marks, but mostly worried about the registration status. Okay? That's where we figure out, understanding these 2 sentences, that she's worried about registration. Melanie says, exactly to this question. I don't know my precise average, but it's not good. Could you look into this for me? It's a little bit tricky, but we realize that she's worried about her registration status. Okay? So have a look at the transcripts for any questions that you got wrong. Identify why you got them wrong so that you can get them right in your real exam. Okay? Sukrab D. Juraev is asking, is this faster than the original IELTS exam? No, absolutely not. Okay, this is the exact speed. Our exams are very precise replicas of the official IELTS exam. Okay, so pay attention to that. Okay, students, so that's it for listening section 1. Let's do listening section 2 together now. Okay, so I'm going to hop back to the exam here. And we will continue with section 2. Now, you're looking for some high marks in these sections because section 3 and 4 get more difficult. So make sure to do your best. Again, students, do not write answers into the chat. Be nice with each other. Let everybody answer on their own. I'm just going to hop back into our web portal here. And again, my audio is max, so please turn up the audio on your side. Okay? Yuya, no, you should not take notes while listening. You should just answer. It's not like TOEFL, okay? You're listening and answering at the same time. This is different from TOEFL where you answer after and you have to take notes. Okay, students, here we go with section 2. Everybody's ready? 3, 2, 1.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening, Section 2. You will hear a woman showing a group of people around an all-inclusive resort hotel. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
I'd like to welcome all of you to the White Sands 5-star resort here in beautiful Varadero, Cuba. Today I'm going to show you the fine features you'll get to experience during your stay here at White Sands. Before we begin, does anyone have any questions?
Hi there. Yes, I have a quick question. How long will the tour be? I have to meet the rest of my family for lunch in an hour.
Not a problem, sir. The tour will take no more than 30 minutes. If after this time anyone wants more details on any of the resort's features, I can help them out individually. Any other questions? No? Well, let's get started then. White Sands covers 10 acres of land, including direct access to over 250 metres of pristine Caribbean coastline. It is perfectly safe to swim in the waters here at White Sands, but do be on the lookout for jellyfish in the water. They are not deadly, but their sting does pack a punch. As we pass through the lobby, I want you to take note of the main bar area on your left. The bar is open from 11 in the morning each day and closes at 1 o'clock a.m. each night. As we proceed down the main path, you'll see 4 apartment buildings marked A and B on your left and C and D on your right. Between buildings C and D on your right is one of our finest restaurants featuring traditional Cuban cuisine. We have 7 restaurants in all at White Sands, and we invite you to try your favourites while you are here.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
In our brochure, I read that we are only entitled to 5 restaurant visits per week we stay at the resort. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. The restaurants are only open for dinner, and reservations are mandatory. You will be able to make reservations at the end of this tour or any time before 5 this evening. When you are not dining at our a la carte restaurants, you may eat at either of our 2 buffet restaurants, which are open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Additionally, there is a night cafe, which is open until 4 a.m.
Does the resort have a nightclub for dancing?
Yes, of course. We have a discotheque located at the end of the main resort path, further away from the apartments. This is, of course, for noise reasons. In fact, the discotheque is conveniently located next to the night cafe.
And what are the discotheque's hours?
It opens at 8 in the evening and closes at 3 a.m. early the next morning. Last call for drinks is at 2:45.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
Next, I'd like to take you down to the beach and show you some of the facilities and services we offer. As we approach the beach, you'll notice the brilliant white sand that our resort is named after. The sand is incredibly fine and is lovely to walk on in your bare feet. Now you can see to your left is one of our beach bar facilities. There is also another beach bar about 100 metres to your right. These bars serve beer and cocktails from noon until 4:30 in the afternoon. On your right is a small cafe serving snack food items during the same opening hours as the beach bar. And straight ahead of us is our beach changing facility, where you can change into your swimming costume, use the toilet, or have a shower.
Are there any water sports included in our holiday package?
Good question. Yes, there are. You have unlimited access to our skimboards, surfboards, and beach sports equipment, such as beach volleyball and football. Additionally, you may sign up for windsurfing at our activity desk, located adjacent to the resort lobby. Finally, you may also register for our weekly water polo tournament, which is held each Friday afternoon at 2:30. Does anyone else have any?
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
And again, students, always use that half minute to check your answers. Look for spelling mistakes. Look for mistakes in understanding or following the instructions. Make sure not to lose silly marks or silly mistakes or marks on silly mistakes. It could be the difference of a 0.5 band. All right, students. So here's section 2. Let's go through this one together. Here we go. So this is a guide at a resort talking about the resort facilities in the resort. Number 11, choose the correct letter A, B, or C. So multiple choice. Approximately how long will the tour be? Quarter of an hour, half an hour, A, B, or C. Yeah, the correct answer, Zaina, Hung, Haiti, Satisfying Times, The Best Donut, all agree that it's got to be C because the tour guide says 30 minutes. And as we know, 30 minutes is equal to half an hour. So 30 minutes, half an hour, same information, paraphrased. With multiple choice questions, students always read ahead. So make sure to pay careful attention with multiple choice. Pay very special attention to the question. You might not hear this information, so you don't actually hear these words. So you have to catch the answer for the question and then choose the right paraphrase for that, especially in section 3, 2, 3, and 4. So be really attentive there. Okay. This is a tricky multiple choice where you have 12, 13, 14, 15. So you have 4 questions in one here. Okay. So on your answer sheet, it will look like this. The order does not matter, but it will be 12, 13, 14, 15. The order won't matter, but you just have to choose the correct 4 from the 8 possible. Okay? So what does this resort have? Danish says it's A, D, E, and F. Lean Alham says it's C, D, H, and A. Kawaljit says it's A, B, D, and H. Hadi says it's B, A, D, H. So we have some variation. Definitely a night cafe that's set at the end. Okay, so there's certainly a night cafe, no question about it. No deadly jellyfish. Okay, she says they're not deadly, but they do pack a punch. Okay. D, definitely. She says there's 4 buildings. They're labeled A, B, C, and D for simplicity's sakes. Okay. There's a number of restaurants. A number of restaurants means several restaurants, so E is correct. There were, in fact, 7 restaurants. Okay, they said 7 restaurants. And the last one is G. Direct beach access. Okay, so again, if you weren't sure about this one, the transcripts can help you. I'll show you where those answers came from. Okay, just so we are all on the same page with this one, so it's clear for you. Okay, here we go. Just bear with me while I get there. Okay. So here are the 4 answers for you. I'll just take this out. So A, D, E, and G were the correct answers. So here's one of them, okay, including direct access to over 250 meters of pristine Caribbean coastline. Coastline means beach, okay? Coastline means beach. So if you know that coastline is beach, you got it correct. Again, paraphrasing is the key. As we proceed down this main path, you'll see 4 apartment buildings marked A and B on your left and C and D on your right. So that's another one, is the 4 apartment buildings. Then we have 7 restaurants in all at White Sands. So a number of restaurants, a number of restaurants, 7 restaurants. That's another one there. Okay. And then there is a night cafe, which is open until 4 a.m. So that was your last one. That was number 4. I hope that's clear for everybody now. All right, let's keep going. What time is the last call at the discotheque? When is last call at the discotheque? 8 p.m., 2:45 a.m., or 3 a.m.? The correct answer is B, so good for you, Azrar. Good for you, Lean. Good for you, Nidhe. Yep, B, it's 2:45. What does last call mean? What does that actually mean in English when somebody says last call at the club or the pub? What are they actually telling you? And sometimes they shout this out. They'll say last call. It's not necessarily the last order. It could be, but it's not necessarily. In a pub, it means last chance to buy an alcoholic drink. Okay. You probably, the kitchen usually closes at 11 p.m., the latest in most pubs. So the kitchen is closed at 11, and then the last alcohol is served maybe 15 minutes before. Yeah, Amina says it's the same as saying last round. Yeah, also last round. That is another way to say that. So last round. Sometimes they'll say last call for alcohol. Okay. All right. Good. So learning something new there. And it's usually about 15 minutes before the pub or the dance club closes. All right. On to the next one. Sorry, I was a little bit late getting to these, and it's probably a bit bright for you here. Yeah, you can kind of see them, so you should have been able to get it. I'll darken it up a little bit for you here so you can get a better idea of what's going on. This is, you have to identify which map or which picture is correct. A, B, C, or D. Anybody? Danish says that was D, I think. Yeah, so they say there's a beach bar on your left from the entrance. On your left, there's a beach bar. And 100 meters to the right, there's another beach bar. Also on the right is a cafe. Pavan is asking, do we simultaneously write answers while listening in the computer-based IELTS? Yes, you do, Pavan. Yes, you do. Absolutely. Okay? Yeah, same idea. So in the IELTS, you're writing your answers while you're listening in both cases. Okay? So D is correct. Good for those of you who got that. Okay, I know it's a little bit bright with this background. It's a little bit tough to see. And then here, you had to hold some information and move quickly through these answers. The beach bars serve beer and cocktails from noon until what time? So from noon until what time are the beach bars serving beer and cocktails? Anybody get that? Onkar Deep says 2:30. Amina says 3 a.m. Wow, that would be really late on the beach, but I guess maybe in some places. Yeah, it was 4:30. 4:30 p.m. 4:30 in the afternoon. It was 4:30. I don't know if anybody got that. It's a little bit late getting to that question. All right, in addition to the small cafe on the beach, we also offer a changing what? Changing something. You can probably figure that one out without even listening because it makes sense. You're on the beach, so there's a changing Hung says it's a room. Yeah, it would be a changing room, Hung, if you're in the US or Canada, but they don't call them changing rooms in the UK. They call them changing, not cabins, call them changing facilities. Changing facility. We offer a changing facility. Okay, you do have to catch these words specifically. IELTS is British, so think British. Okay, where you can change in and out of your swimming costume. An American or a Canadian will say swimming suit. Okay, so British, changing facility, swimming costume, not suit. Okay, American, Canadian will say swimming suit. Australians, I think, also say suit. We also offer plenty of sports at the resort, whether it is skimboarding, beach volleyball, football, windsurfing, or our once-a-week something tournament. So obviously some kind of a sport. We have activities for everyone. Amarjeet says that sport is water polo. Thank you. Water polo. Yeah, that's right. Water polo it is. So, how did you do? What did you get from 20? So for those of you who were in this listening from the beginning until now, what was your score out of 20? How did you do in listening section 1 and 2? Okay, Satisfying Time says 14 out of 20. Heidi says 15. Hung says 15. Zana says 17. Chung Min Yoon says 6. Amarjeet says 13. Carolina says 12. Students, for listening section 1 and 2, your goal should be at least 15. Okay? So in order to get a band 6.5 or higher in the listening section, your goal for section 1 and 2 should be 15 from 20 or more, because section 3 and 4 will be more difficult, and students generally lose significantly more marks there. Okay, so careful with that. All right, pay attention to that. Your aim should be 15 to 20. Nevertheless, students, a great effort today on this listening. Tomorrow we will complete section 3 and 4, and then you can check your band score. So make sure to join us tomorrow. Again, remember, use your time effectively in the listening section. Practice your spelling. Don't make a mistake like I did with facilities. That will cost you that mark, even if you get the right word, okay? And practice lots. If you're not sure where the answer came from, check the transcript. Good study materials should have transcripts. We have some of the best study materials for you at aehelp.com for academic and gieltshelp.com for general. Spend a few dollars, save a lot of money and stress not to have to sit the exam over and over. So visit those websites, join the premium package. We want to help you to succeed. Have an awesome rest of your day. If it's late in your country and you're getting ready to hit the hay, then sweet dreams. Have a good night's rest. Wake up energized tomorrow. Much love to all of you. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.